What's up, everyone? We have a second round battle. Should be a good one. Seems pretty exciting. Yeah, we have some choices to make here. We have a defense to place. This is it. This is our first real one. There's no auto posts or anything to worry about here. Hopefully. So yeah. I still haven't really thought out how much I want to kind of show here, but I guess I might just try showing all of it. Just kind of do the full process here. I mean, I've already kind of pre-planned some of this, but I can at least go through and show the work. So, for example, here we have a 390 Gideon, which is pretty good. People tend to like their nice, solid round numbers, but we have outspent him. So, first things first, I think I will be pretty content with tossing a Eternal Emperor back here in the back. There's almost a call. I think I'm kind of wondering if we shouldn't just go triple in front of ships, because I'm expecting them to post their Eternal Emperor as well as their Rey on defense, just based on the past season of Grand Arena. So we have our teams kitted, very specific, our Galactic Legends teams are kitted to try to cause a lot of interference this season. So even if this does end up just getting killed by Kylo, I don't necessarily mind that trade because they're going to have some other issues elsewhere. In between the two, let's start with this as a default. I don't think they're going to try anything crazy. It seems like their strategy is pretty consistent. Let's just go with like a control test. I don't want to start with anything necessarily crazy this season just yet. So yeah, have Sith Assassin looking very fast, very aggressive. He is a spry 353, so 393 after Eternal Emperor lead. She will outspeed, outprice Imp Troopers. They are not going to have any chance of getting in here. And yeah, so starting off with that seems good. And then it's kind of like a control. I'm actually gonna be really curious. I'm gonna place a Prime Bot watch on this up front. This is actually one of the most complex remods I've ever done. I think I said that for the last 5v5 as well. But if the last 5v5 was kind of getting familiar with some new concepts and wanting to kind of make the most of them, this felt like the advanced version of that. There was so many ridiculous speed thresholds and so many teams I was trying to juggle. We do have a very speedy 349 Finn. We'll get out in front of Vader. You'll also see we have some tenacity on our Finn. And the same for the other bro. This will pretty effectively price out most Vaders, I think, or at least that fight should just play out extremely strangely for them compared to how Vader usually goes. Yeah, I have some good feelings about that fight in general as well, so I will gladly take that post. I think this team will work very well up front, as well as I actually have a mega offense stacked Rey here. The reason why I think this is consistent or interesting is because they have they don't use a normal JML team. They use a more aggressive, I would say, but there's no Jolie. And Jolie is kind of the life vest, the safety net, whatever you want to call it for this team, or for JML. Because people, like, Rey first ult, depending on how they play it, can pretty easily pick people off sometimes. And if she gets the one shot here, this 13k damage, at every twist and turn, every time that I've thought, maybe it wasn't really worth the investment, it has always blown me away. So even though her speed is pretty trash, even though her health is also pretty trash, will be a good, interesting test for today, because we already have some pretty good ideas about what they're going to be using here. And yeah, we'll be watching their attack with great interest. So I believe Rey up front. That's a lock. Let's see. This is something I kind of been planning to do this season already. We do have a fairly experimental Darth Revan load, I would say. We did run kind of slower Darth Revan last season already, pretty heavy on the health stack. But our Bastila build is a bit of a weird one. We do have 317 speed, I was really gonna have her 320, but again, talking about the crazy mod Jenga I was doing, I brought her down a little bit. We do have the triple health primary, crit avoidance arrow. This is a basilisk that is hoping to block any, let's say, bounty hunter hopefuls. I believe from my scouting, we can show my work on stream or in here. Let's see. Oh, I mean, that is the order. 313, 343. So he actually, I mean, yeah, he is gonna take a swing, I guess. He is gonna try it. So this will be an interesting moment of truth for if she can take the heat. You will notice as well. Man, this is perfect, actually. All right, we're just getting straight to the good stuff. All right, let's do this. The ultimate test. Just immediate. He's gonna see bounty hunters, and I don't know if he's gonna check. Let's just see. Let's do it. Call the bluff. Yeah. Done. Team is posted. I did give her Relegate specifically to try to make up for. You will see we have a potency set here. Don't read anything into that. The reason why I use potency sets is because my potency sets are fast, and my health sets are not. Health sets just don't seem to agree with me for some reason, despite lack of trying. So, team, in, done. That's our bottom front wall. Feel pretty okay about it. You know, Darth Redmond maybe not baiting the most here. You could argue, maybe we're pulling gas here. I don't know that gas pull really matters that much for what's in the rear, but we'll see. We're mostly just curious about what kind of damage that this can do. And yeah, last but not least, the cream of the crop, let's say. Should this be... Yeah, let's just... Man, this still feels punishable. This will backfire on me someday. But we are going to go. Especially if I assume that he's potentially burning JML up front. This is the team that I spent the most time on this season. That is not an exaggeration. When I say that, I mean that completely. And we will see. We will see how our defense goes, and I'll probably dive a little bit more into that there. Here's a teaser. It's a very specific stat line. More will be revealed soon. Yeah. The final piece of the secret sauce, done in the rear. I put a lot of work into that team. I would almost say I'm stressed here just because I want this team to succeed so badly. Yeah, from the rest of here we have kind of a solid B team. Medley, let's say. Nothing too crazy here. We're expecting CLS on defense, so Grievous is staying on offense. It also benefits us because it means that he will have to deal with gas, and that's probably gonna end up being a mirror for him. Especially if he... Man, that Darth driven down bottom is gonna become very, very problematic for him suddenly. If he has to gas the DR to get to rear. Gas up top here. If he continues his CLS on defense habit... Whew! We'll see. We'll see indeed. Padme, I think, is a fairly safe post here. I don't really mind doing this. Kind of got replaced by Beskar, Mando, for a lot of purposes on offense. Did a little bit of stuff here, mostly to the degree of I've been wanting to test a very, very tanky Anakin lately. Specifically, kind of with a weaker surrounding team. Just also kind of just as an excuse of I don't have that many health mods with 60 to go around. But also because, kind of interestingly, it'll cause him to reproc and activate a lot. So I think there's a very easy argument to make that this is probably too weak. But, you know, depending on what they use, I think there is some real opportunity for this to trip them up here. So, yeah. Let's fix our ordering a little bit. I don't know if it particularly matters for this team, but at least get the Dispel before we get the Anakin basic. Yeah. Team. Done. This last slot, have not decided on. It was actually, I was kind of leaning towards Night Sisters. I think we got to hold on to too much else. We have a very, very high commitment in a lot of other places. It can't be something like New Dooku. Nude is also needed for Grievous against CLS. So yeah, we end up in this awkward spot very quickly where I think I might end up posting Night Sisters. Yeah. I mean, based on its history, I think this actually could end up being the best card today, but I would still rather hold it just in case. You know what? I'll do this as a sign of confidence, let's say. I think we could get away with posting Night Sisters. I don't think Crew is amazing here. I think there's actually almost a call that maybe, like, we can't show Crew here because that's feeding too much information, I think. I kinda actually think we should have used the rear slot just to hide Crew. Maybe go, like, double GL up front, DR and rear. Or even DR up top. A gas next to DR I actually don't mind either. Right, if we're offering him that info anyway. I think that actually might be a mistake here. Also, not even to, like, try to pretend that Crew with this medley, the first order would even matter as well. But whatever. I'll post Night Sisters. I'll do it. Not proud of it. Realistically speaking, though, I think that this team will end up getting Imp Troopered anyway, so I'm kind of fine with not feeding them extra value here. NS isn't okay. Just kind of sacrificial lamb. You could do worse. You could do a lot worse. And, yeah. Fleets, not exactly the most interesting. I'll probably just cut it here. I'm not going to make you all sit through it. Yeah. Good stuff. We'll see how this does. Two main fights that I want to break down from this specific stream. First things first, we did have a Grievous against CLS, which is, I would say, still probably one of the potentially scarier counters out there. Immediately, we get the one-shot on our Newt, which is definitely considered a high roll for the start of this fight. But then you see immediately after the fact, we go for the Grievous AoE. My Grievous actually having the potency cross for hopeful extra consistency. And we actually see only 1 out of 4 target lock. So immediately this fight already starts to have a bit of an awkward tilt here where we need to start building up our target lock as a resource so that we can stay in control of the fight. But also we have so little target lock to work with already that we're kind of low on resources to begin with. So we land on this B2 turn here, and we have this choice between do we basic Han to give everyone else turn meter, or do we try to aim for a low tenacity target, you know, usually a C3PO, or a Chupio, or a CLS once he goes into offense stance, just to try to build up our extra tenacity collection. We go for a C3PO there as the easiest target, and then B1 always looking to spread out that target lock since he doesn't have to aim for it himself. We get ourselves back up to 3 pretty quickly off of bad initial RNG. Now, at this point, we do see CLS in offense stance. He lost a lot of his tenacity. We could go for a 4th, but I do kind of want to get our B1 back up in turn meter a little bit. So I opted to take just an AoE just to get a little bit of extra potency for B2 and a little bit of turn meter for us. We take the basic on Han just to kind of continue that turn meter train a little bit. We'll change our focus to Chewie soon. But again, just trying to stabilize, grab all that extra target lock where we can, while still keeping our turn meter relatively, you know, in effect. This is a pretty easy choice to AoE here with Magna Guard. It's just a matter of who we're going to aim at. We don't necessarily want to kill people too early, and Han is getting pretty low, which is why I chose not to aim at me here. At this point, you know, we still are on 3 target lock. I believe I do opt to go for the target lock on CLS here, just to try to pick up a 4th. We see that B1 is about to go, so if we had gotten that target lock, it would have been perfect. We miss it, B1 gets a second opportunity. We pick it up there instead. Yeah, from there, I mean, Chewie is the main person we need to kill here to make progress in this fight. But I do believe I opt to take a stun attempt plus some good damage on Chewie. Not necessarily the biggest amount of damage output here. This was actually a slight misplay. Actually, pause for a second. The extortion icon is blue, and yeah, I honestly just kind of looked at guard and assumed that that still meant extortion being here. It wasn't necessarily that bad, you know, a cooldown increase on CLS you could do worse. Basic would have been more turn meter for us, and also just kind of a, you know, all a missed opportunity. Not necessarily the end of the world here, but, you know, I mean, there were multiple times I could have checked for a profit on our team, or just actually looked at the icon to see that, you know, we see it's goal. Right. But yeah, pretty simple decision for B1 here. There's only one person left who doesn't have target lock, so we always aim at them. go for the attempt. At this point, I know that we've kind of gotten control of the fight and things are going to start winding down very quickly. So you'll see we start pushing our healing focus over onto Newt, because Newt is a character that Grievous will not tax whenever he takes a turn. So if we're thinking about this in terms of closing down the fight and getting our banners back, we need to start trying to push back guaranteed banners. And B2 and Magna, you'll see, you know, the attack starts hitting them really, really hard, right? We're one heal away from getting Newt back to full. Grievous is full, so he's looking pretty good. And yeah, you know, we've pretty much resolved things out. Just trying to spread out damage a little bit. You know, we do get Newt back to full here. If we were going to have hopes and dreams of trying to get someone back to full protection with B1 stacks, it's not really going to be happening. The one last scare that happens here is this last Grievous turn actually pushes us below full health on B2, so this is why, you know, we didn't have to kill C-3PO, but at least getting the special over there gave us an extra chance for B1 to heal us. One last small little detail that at least helped us make sure that we were going to walk out with a full health B2. We're not looking to land any 57s if it was avoidable. And then the second fight for today, you know, most of the rest of these fights were kind of easy punching down cleanup. It was actually just a pretty standard JML versus Rey. You know, we've run this fight plenty of times on stream at this point. You know, just kind of talking about, we do have our Jolie stacked for full health this time around, and I believe Grandmaster Yoda as well, just trying to play around the possible risk of him dying to a Whirlwind after that first Rey ult is the main way that you could lose a character, if you're playing this correctly. But yeah, pretty simple decision making here so far. This is like one of those things where this kind of cleans this team's play pattern up a little bit. I love this change. It's also arguably pretty unnecessary. But basically, all that's happening here is by getting Grandmaster Yoda faster than Shaak Ti here, you hit this initial F-Lux, you always have this turn where you have to dispel Holdo. And so if Shaak Ti's, you know, fastest on your team, she's a very fast character. That's usually the way people are going to land with their mods. Usually you don't get to use lessons with her first turn, right? So that always just felt a little bit bad to me. You know, you give everyone offense up for your trouble, but by putting Hermit Yoda, or Grandmaster Yoda, sorry, first in the turn order, we can just immediately call her dead. Basically the same thing, but we get JML ult charge, and then she can just immediately pass the call back over to Grandmaster Yoda for even more turn meter. Yeah. It gets you so much more ult charge for essentially the same effect. It just feels, you know, it's a small thing. You win this fight either way, which is why I call it pretty useless. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's led to some like weird opportunities. You'll see we get JML ult kind of surprisingly early in this fight, but also it does play a little bit differently than I'm used to or than I've practiced. So not necessarily sure completely on how I feel about it yet. And you know, I do think we kind of underutilized Ki-Adi-Mundi here in this early opening, kind of using and abusing Yoda's turn meter a little bit more. I probably should have been a Jedi lesson, or yeah, Jedi lessons over on Tapo there, but still the same. I popped Battle Meditation now just to get us some early initial shielding, and I felt pretty confident that we were going to be able to get it back before Rey goes into ult. It actually ended up being a pretty close call, but yeah, starting to make, you know, actual proper use of Ki-Adi-Mundi now. Trying to make sure that we get some good progress. I don't actually know if I like this opener. I feel like I've gone a little bit too turn meter heavy, you know, focused on the Grandmaster Yoda a little bit too much instead of just sledgehammering people down. Usually the old way I used to play this fight, we could, you know, very easily just get 2 or 3 people into damage immunity before Rey ever got to ult. So that's one slight difference here that I could say. I don't necessarily think that's a fault of Grandmaster Yoda being first. I think that's more just a fault of me calling him more. And I think we did give Holdo a few more constantly as well. So yeah, we call Yoda one more time, just trying to make sure that we could get him back to full. Didn't quite get it there. Took a little bit of damage. The Rey isn't necessarily the best offense modded. We drop our armor shred on her immediately. Get the damage immunity, and from there, it's just a matter of, you know, finally doing the damage we should have been. Blame the F-Lux. Usually once you reach this point where you're calling Cam a bunch, everyone else starts to fall behind on their Jedi Lessons cooldown a little bit, so, you know, a little bit unfortunate here. We switch over to Poe for the... Ooh, I actually kind of wish I had stayed on Poe. I was going to do it for the Grandmaster Yoda Terminator so we could just pass it back to Cam immediately. I mean, more damage on Rey versus a faster Cam as well. I guess either works. The foresight to deny the JTR, or the Rey lifesteal. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this fight played out pretty fine, but I would maybe call some of it. I think that there was definitely this to be a cleaner fight overall. But yeah, with Rey dead, obviously the fight is pretty cleanly won. At this point, it was just a question of would it be possible to cycle any of our banners back? Against JTR, it feels a little bit more difficult. A, because she just gained so much Terminator, and she's just a faster character than what we were doing against Scoundrels. We do get her into immunity here, but her evasion on her Mastery Relic proved to be just very, very difficult to try to juggle down. In fact, like, she's pretty much already lost it immediately. You know, we try to give Yoda a Terminator, we get the chance for the Terminator removal, and then she just immediately deflects it, right? So, at that point, we know, you know, this fight is pretty much just about to end. Try to, you know, call Jolie just to get him a little protection back, but that Shock T turn was probably the last chance we were going to have to get it, any protection back to full on him. So, we'll walk out of here, I'm pretty sure, with what'll just be a 58. Yeah. So, I don't know, you try to stall the fight, try to get the banners back as much as you can, but, you know, Scoundrels is just so much of a better opportunity. This team, you know, as annoying as JTR and Holdo can be, you know, once Rey disappears, it actually is kind of a flimsy fight. They're very good at dying quickly, which is the opposite of what this team wants if you want to try to use those Jedi Lessons to get back to full protection with the Shock T's assistance. So yeah, you know, I'll edit together the rest of these fights. I wouldn't necessarily call any of them, you know, too commentary worthy. We're just kind of trading down the rest of these teams. They went a little bit light on defense to try to tackle our defense, and as you will see later, well, I guess we'll see how it goes later. Alright, time to press a bunch of AoE buttons. Surely nothing will go wrong. Terminator, popped, recording, on, AoE 1, done, B2, awake. What the fuck just happened? Okay, no debuffs for B2. Look, I'm okay with that. I'm here for it. And then a bunch of stuff happened. Got it. Less than ideal. Speaking of ideal, all right, let's I would like for you to not look like that anymore. Thank you very much. I don't mind a stagger. Oh my! What? You need to relax. So it's because of all the debuffs. God, I'm so used to Ness being a slow roll character. It's because we're just jamming all these debuffs on them, and she just goes 0 to 100 immediately in this counter, and it catches me so off guard sometimes. Alright, double basic, double Droid Battalion removal. Thank you very much. I'm forcing Ness to hit B1 here just because she needs to, like, ice off a little bit. She's a loose cannon right now. I'm not okay with it. See, Veteran Han knows restraint. We stick to 5-digit numbers. Why are you doing... it's because that's Magna. Alright, we're slow rolling to 60, I guess. I would appreciate... What? Oh, it's because I gave him offense. Literally all I ask of you right now is to stop hurting people. Yeah, give Newt some crit damage. Nope. We're not doing birds. How do I get this team to not end this fight immediately? I kind of don't want Newt to take a turn. Yeah, sure, just do it. Good job, dude. Is this really how we're walking out of this fight? Alright, 56. This Nest needs to relax. I'm legitimately gonna take crit damage off of her. She definitely has it on right now. I think I like that call. We're going. Alright, hello. We probably shouldn't be aiming at you. We probably should be aiming at a squishier unit. Question is, how squishy is too squishy? And we're finding the answer very quickly. Alright. Oh, yeah, okay. This is just getting gratuitous. And we hit the ability block on Spy. Much appreciated. We kind of just have to chop our way out before a Spy decides to try anything. Sure. Okay, Oben. Sure. Helps. Can't say I mind. Gotta do his new character arc. Tight. He's good to go. Vader is the more interesting fight. I feel like there's higher stakes, but also that dude held 3 GL, so taking no prisoners. Just disable the engine now. A little bit surprised we didn't outspeed her, but it's pretty good resist for us. Can't say I mind that. Palthorpal Scout gets a stun on us. It's not going to feel great, so let's disable that first. Mon Mothma is probably about to bring him back. I guess let's just 50-50 this. Just gun car down. It's the end of our Terminator train. I should don't mind the bringing car back, actually. I was gonna say she could take some extra hits, but we're already like kind of full protection anyway. None of this matters. Let's just hit the die button. Yeah, wow, pretty good. Imp Troopers are just gonna be better equipped. Why not? Alright. Dark Trooper is just a completely unethical unit. Who are we? I'm gonna aim at Bosk, even though we're probably supposed to aim for a kill, because it doesn't matter what we do in this fight. Okay, he one-shots Bosk anyway. Good stuff, dude. Just a good unit overall. Takes a lot of, like, very careful decision-making. I'm gonna hit the AoE. Yeah, why not? He almost one-shot everyone. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Just gonna smash buttons at this point. It doesn't even matter. I don't even need to be here. Let's pop auto. Using this unit just makes me feel salty. I need, like... God. And they are quite fast. God, I really have not used Bounty Hunters in an offensive capacity. I geared them up. I think this is actually the first time that I've, like, used them on offense. Like, actually. In a long, long time. I mean, they're built in commission to be, like, anti-Darth Revan. I mean, Fast Boba is actually kind of sick here. If we get to open up with the AoE ability block. It's not guaranteed. But maybe? Let's try this. I don't know. This might be the wrong call. We gotta get, like, comfortable with them at some point. I want to call Django to assist here, but we want Django to kill her on his turn, which is tricky. I feel like he'll do too much damage. Unfortunately. Oh, this is boss clay. I didn't even think about that. So it's different contract consideration too. I kind of wish I went Django lead, actually, thinking this through. I mean, we went boss lead for the regen. Alright, this should be... Huh. Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Just layer it on. Yeah. Cool. Hey, pretty neat Master System button you got there. Not really doing anything here. Like, if anything, it's actually worse, so that we could just do that instead. These teams need to chill. It's the same, like, we ran Beskar Mando against Night Sisters 2 for the other fight. I'll say we'll do 2 for the other fight, and then not actually do 2. We'll probably do 3 there, too. It's good stuff. Turn meter to... And Poe's about to go anyway. Alright, we get the taunt up first. Should be good for us, I want to say. We don't get the buff immunity, so the whole reason why I was interested in that is now gone. It's good stuff. Not that much target lock either, we'll just take the Dispel. Or try to in the AS Breach, so I don't even know why I said we were getting that. Plo Koon isn't even that great either, this is mostly just for turn meter, I guess. It also gets the Breach off, but like, we kind of had our Dispel shot. Lost it. Ow. I mean, hey, Plo Koon didn't die. Impressive. I used to run Xanadu Blood and Radis Reinforcements until I read that guide, and apparently Xanadu Blood just has, like, crazy priority. Alright, Breach is off, Defense Down is off. Both of those feel good. We really need to drop a resistance ship. That AoE has to be a bad idea. Yeah, let's just drill up Poe. Okay. I feel like this might need to be a Rex, even though we're kind of behind on killing Hound's Tooth. That might be the wrong call. But I kind of want to push ult. Alright, that actually times pretty well for me. That tenacity down maybe less so. Yeah, I was really hoping we could get this off before that happens. I'm pretty sure Radis is... I always think that Radis is close to ult, and this is never true. But... Not even Resistance X-Wing. Alright, now he's... I actually don't even mind him dying there, to be honest. They need to blood pickup. We have Breach, but whatever. Ahsoka can finish off Houndstooth pretty easily. That maybe should have been a call to try to, like, set up Y-Wing, but I think we're just ending it here. Well, not exactly. Okay, so we did just miss a banner, basically. Well... Or did we? One more Rex turn. That's all I ask. 2 more Rex turns, that's all I ask. Wait! Okay, actually, I think we got there. I think that's it. Wait, why was it a 61? Because Plo Koon died? I was expecting like a 63 or 64. It's because we brought 3, I guess. Wait, it didn't actually give me full protection for Y-Wing there? That looked like he was full. Why was it a 61? That didn't look like a 61. I guess I didn't look at like Ahsoka's protection or whatever. Yeah. It should feel alright. BTL at the same percent health and protection remaining. I thought the BTL was like barely inside a grace period. Like the 95-ish percentage range. I was totally right. He was going first. I thought that gauntlet was like 150 plus 20 though. Weird. Okay. Actually, we don't even get ability blocked. Even that just done. It didn't even matter. Yeah. God, the Master Assist feels juicier against Gauntlet, but he did just blow his major cooldown, so we might as well just take down Vader, I think. Okay, I don't think there's a whole lot we can really think about for the rest of this fight. Banner-wise, I think we're just killing him. Man, how is Malevolent? And last but not least, we have the final results. A very solid performance overall. They did hold 3 Galactic Legends, as we saw, and yeah, 2 battles for the Rey up front. It did clean kill our Darth Revan. I believe no real action in the north, but you'll notice, despite them holding 3 Galactic Legends, our Kylo still standing in the rear. They did notify me that they did a cooldown pull for Imp Troopers against our Eternal Emperor, so absolutely fair play on their part. But yeah, our Kylo stands undefeated. What the whole to his name. So overall, very, very happy with that. A very solid showing. Yeah, good stuff for the start of our first real match with this tested setup. So even better with the next one, hopefully. We'll see. Thanks for watching.